Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth plus 17 wins in a row. We're getting it. We're getting it. Not even too scared about this one. SGRE01B4. One bomb. One bomb turns this whole thing on its freaking head. I do want to say, I'm not trying to be negative about it, okay? I'm not trying to be negative. The last run is in the past. It's already happened. Well, we have had about 6 rooms where we haven't done anything. Have we encountered the rare floor without a single enemy? We really need enemies so we can get some consumables from a room. But this run already feels offensively more potent than our last one did. Until maybe the run. Until the very end, at least. I can't believe that it... Oh, geez Louise, dude. just relax. I just need a single bomb, please. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna first see if it's explosive diarrhea back here. All of a sudden, this run went from great to scary. Lockdown is not really that huge of a problem. We're not gonna just take Angry Fly sight unseen. I'm not upset, just relax, but this floor honestly was one of the least fruitful first floors I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Missing that is pretty bad. Come on, man. So the great news is that killing this guy grants you a spirit heart. The bad thing is one errant shot could screw this whole thing up for us. Okay, we're back. What a strange floor. I'm really, honestly, like, pretty stoked about the way that the run looks, but I'm just a little disappointed at our inability to grab even a single consumable. That's relatively rare, but you know what? Say it with me. It is what it is. We'll be moving on and playing the run we got instead of the run we're hoping to get. And this has changed things quite prodigiously. So don't walk into that anymore, okay? So you're gonna be very upset with me. This represents, for me, the peak of what we could realistically expect to get from Undefined. Guppy's head. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me, and we could talk about it. But for me, this is selling high. This is like buying a stock and having it double, and then selling it. Yeah, maybe it'll go triple eventually, but it's not like we lost there. We actually pulled out a huge win. And not to mention Black Rune actually did some great stuff for us as well there. So, I mean, this run, what a strange first floor. It went from great to scary, like literally, I wouldn't say on death's door, but one hit away from potential oblivion, to not sorted yet, but like definitely, I mean, offensively, this is a really, really positive situation. So I feel, I'm stoked, I'm over the moon. I probably will not be taking Curse of the Tower, which is, I would say probably shows up 93.2% of the time in these rooms. There was a time in the past where Guppy items used to spawn in red chests, but now you're just somebody that I used to know. You don't like that? I mean, I thought that was pretty much one-to-one representation of how that song sounds. Really? No, I was just fooling. Got ya. Oh, get it? The singer's name is Gotye. It's probably not pronounced like that. It's Gotye. Gotye. Pronounced like Kanye. Okay, all I'm asking here is, and it's not much, how about you let me get a key so I can go into the item room? How about that? Would that interest you? Yes or no? Please respond. Magician. I was just checking to see if the card was relevant. The card is not relevant. Anyway, it's hard to complain. The run is now good and also safe, but this is one of the few times I might prefer to get, like, consumables from the boss. It is still Sunday morning. Thank you for asking. Excited for a nice summer day of streaming. Malf and I are, we're going to finish our baseball series today. So, like, honestly, by the time this airs, you will have already seen it, or at least had the opportunity to see it if that's something you're interested in. I hope we won. How about that? How's that for a controversial statement? I think we want both. And it's not something I say lightly. Because we're a little, you know, it's scary. It's scary here. A lot of people have been like, NL, you and Malf should crank up the ego. You should make the finals more difficult. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, we've swept the finals up to this point. Or the playoffs. We won 6 games in a row by pretty high margins. At the same time, on 60 ego, we barely made the playoffs. It required a walk-off home run in extra innings against our divisional rival just to make it. So I'm a little hesitant to be like, you know what? Let's, I mean, I really want to... A lot of my time as a streamer, mentally speaking, and we're unfortunately forced to just leave here, is really just spent trying to avoid epic self-owns. And, not cell phones, like the iPhone. But I mean self-ownage, if that makes sense. Raising the ego out of a sense of ego... and then losing in the finals would be the kind of thing that, you know, let's call it a preventable mistake. I think we keep the ego where it is. And of course they're going to give me a key right away, but I think you keep the ego where it is, and then in Season 2. Oh, in Season 2 maybe you crank it a little bit. That's my thoughts on that subject. This run is, it's interesting. It's got some wrinkles in it. Succubus with our damage is incredible. Guppy's Head is doing amazing stuff for us. Again, thanks to our damage stat. We're really... HP is a little funky, and we're suffering on a consumable front as well. Like, we really have had a hard time getting basically any consumables. Let's see. 2 of clubs. It's weird, but work with me for a second here. Okay, we didn't really get what I wanted, but I do want Spirit Hearts probably more than anything else right now. It's a run that I wouldn't say is delicate. But if we are indelicate with it, we can run into problems. I think every hit that we take has to be a hit taken for a good reason. But don't worry, boys, we got Angry Fly backing us up. I'm excited for this week, too. I think we'll have one more... That hurt. One more anecdote bereft week, roughly, and then the anecdotes are going to start to fly. Because we have baby class. Starting on Friday. So we got like 6 hours on Friday and 6 hours on Saturday or something like that. So, I'm sure that we will have incredible anecdotes. By the way, I'm not insulting the concept of baby class at all. I actually think it's something I'm looking forward to, because I got a lot of questions. Like, I still know fairly little about babies, despite having been one for at one point my entire life, you know? I mean, have you ever heard me complain in these video games? Maybe some would say I'm still a baby to this day. Like, I don't know what you do in these baby use cases, you know what I mean? How do you wrap up a baby? How do you swaddle it? I recently found out on the NLSS they put gloves on babies so they don't use their fingernails to scratch the heck out of their faces. I laughed because at first I thought they were joking. Turns out it's very real. Something I'm glad I learned in advance. But I'm sure that it's going to give us all sorts of anecdotes. There was a parenting class at our high school. And this is busted, in my opinion, okay? So there was a parenting class at our high school. And this is... I have a lot of bones to pick. I thought my education was pretty good. And for the most part, I'm okay with this. Just blow this up, and then, you know, if you can get real HP, that'd be worth something. I think that mostly the school did right by me, but I think that, in general, more practical education and less theoretical education would benefit the average person, myself included, a lot more. Like, I'm always... Look, I love education. Don't get me wrong. However, I think that if the purpose of high school is to prepare you for university, then offering a lot of, like, hard science courses, and, I mean, I'm not trying to be anti-science, but you know what I mean. If it's to prepare you to do well in university, which is to prepare you for a career, then sure, learning a lot of, like, highly specific stuff that is perhaps impractical in the real world, like, I don't know, quantum physics, let's just say. It makes sense, you know, because you got a baseline in quantum physics. Then when you go to university, they can teach you that much faster, and then before you know it, you're inventing the next neutrino bucket or something like that. But if the purpose of high school is to educate people on how to become, like, functional adults, I think that more practical, ubiquitously useful classes would be useful. So I saw that the Ontario curriculum in Canada is adding, from first grade onwards, courses in programming and computer science. Or, sorry, let me rephrase, because they rhyme. Programming and personal finance. Which I agree with both. I mean, I don't think everybody needs to take a programming class. I think everybody would benefit from at least taking, like, learning a little bit of programming and seeing if it's for them, and, you know, learning algorithmic problem solving stuff that could help you out in other avenues in life. But no, I don't think everybody needs to, you know, write their own calculator app in Java or something like that. But anyway, this is all a roundabout way of saying that in my school there were basically 2 tracks you went into. One of which was, you know, hey, this person is, like, book smart and they're going to college or they're going to university, so they don't take practical stuff. They don't take auto shop. They don't take wood shop. Like, the classes were, like, scheduled to be diametrically opposed. Admittedly, there were operational constraints. You know, I went to a small school. There was only 80 people in my graduating class, so it's not like, hey, why don't you just take the 4 p.m. chemistry instead of the 9 a.m.? There was no, you know, there's just chemistry. You take it when you take it. You know, you take it when it's offered. Yeah. But unfortunately, that meant that, like... And I mean, at the time, I was like, this owns. I don't want to learn wood shop or auto shop or home ec or parenting. But now that I'm a little older, I'm like, dude, I really wish that, like a parenting class... Even like a 6-week parenting class. We probably would not have taken it seriously as 11th graders, but still, give you some useful intel. I would never advocate for, like, the dissolution of chemistry as a subject in high school. I just think that more practical stuff would be good. Like, a parenting class would have been useful. Unfortunately, at my school, it was kind of turned into, like, this elitist thing, where it was like, oh, well, if you're not going to university or college, then you need to take this... Well, need is a strong word, but, you know, you have the opportunity to take this parenting class. Because let's be honest, these overeducated fools, they're probably not going to be having kids anytime soon. They'll just handle it later. There's a weird attitude. Always wanted to go to one of those classes where they give you, like, one of the robot babies, and then in the middle of the night it'll just cry. And it's really just a test of endurance to see who can go the longest without taking its batteries out. Anyway, so I have no idea what this class will entail, except broad stuff. I believe I will learn how to swaddle a baby, which is very useful, because I also, and I'm not joking, though this is humorous, it's not a joke, like the Snuggie, you don't wear it to pub crawls. Don't, hey, there we go. I think that learning how to wrap a baby up in a blanket will also be useful for me because I'm not a very good burrito wrapper. Full stop. I'm more of a fold and roll kind of guy, and they never turn out the same way they do at Chipotle, you know? So I don't know. I'm not gonna say that to the baby teacher, because I like, you know, I don't want them to charge me extra. It's a multidisciplinary approach. So that should be interesting. That'll be... I'm genuinely looking forward to it. Just trying to think if there's any other thing we can handle here. I mean, it's... Oh, hello. This would be very nice, honestly. It's all just like an adventure, right? Like, it's such a... It's new stuff. Kate was talking to me, and she's like... I really don't do well with being tired. So I'm, like, concerned or anxious about how, like, I'm gonna be when the baby's here. Like, I think I'm gonna be a little miserable. And I'm like, you know, nobody likes being tired. Nobody's like, oh, you know, oh, crap, I feel refreshed. But at the same time, I really think, like, something just switches in the human brain. Hear me out here. We're going to try something. Just because we got so much available. No. I think it was worth a try. I'm even going to do it one more time. Just to see if maybe that'll... Because if we get no money on the next floor, this will still allow us to go to our... Or to possibly get an arcade 2 floors from now, which might be relevant, or maybe not. But I think there's something that switches in the human brain. That's like, right now, when I'm tired... I'm mad, but, like, I'm mostly mad at, like, myself or maybe, like, the cats, right? And even, like, when I'm mad at myself, I'm like, why didn't I sleep last night, dude? When I'm mad at the cats, I'm not even mad at the cats. I'm like, I love these creatures. I'm just frustrated, and I wish that, oh my god, how long has it been since we've had a guppy chance, dude? I'm like, I just wish that you would... go insane during the day when it's playtime instead of at 3 a.m. But I guess you're nocturnal animals like Amy Adams, right? So what are you supposed to do? But I think when it's your child, this is my hunch, and again, I'm a non-parent still, at least philosophically speaking, and I'm sure as a parent you get annoyed when non-parents tell you, like, here's what I think, but about parenting specifically. Nah, that's well, nah, I think this is better here. Hold on, I haven't made a point in 10 seconds. I'm starting to lose faith. I bet when it's your child keeping you awake, you might get frustrated. Frustration, I think, is highly likely. But I bet you're like, your brain has tricked you. I bet you're like, this is a good reason to be awake. So yes, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that I think you do get a lot less sleep, in all likelihood. But I'm also, and maybe this is rationalization, bargaining, or denial, but I think, like, per capita, per unit of tiredness, the tiredness hits less hard. Because you're satisfied with it. You know, it's like there's a... And this is just a guess. This is not based on, you know, we'll see how I feel. I'm not trying to say, like, oh, I'm going to be, like, you know, an amazing position when, you know, we're getting 1 hour of sleep a night for 6 months. But it's like when you're hungry in a normal circumstance, doesn't feel good, right? You're like, I need to eat immediately. But if you're on, like, intermittent fasting or something like that, you're like, I'm hungry, and it still kind of sucks. I think we will take this. But on the other hand, I know that this is being hungry for a good reason, you know? Or at least what you feel is a good reason, because I don't know where the jury's at when it comes to intermittent fasting. People seem to get good results on it. What do you got? What do you got? This is a good time to fight greed, honestly. This run now is basically unlosable. So yeah, enjoy another week of anecdoteless... existence. And then when we go to the grocery store... wait, no, what was I gonna say? It's like, as soon as I say anecdote, my brain is like grocery store. I started interweaving another anecdote in there simultaneously. I apologize. I forgot what our HP is like. I'm pretty sure it's 0, so I want to do that and then see what we get. And I hate to say it, but you guys are just going down because you're not guppy. But yeah, I'm sure the baby class is going to pop off. But I was going to say, I have like a little, if not, come on. If that's really good still, but if not an anecdote, at least a sentiment. Anybody else, and I want to put the caveat out here. I'm wearing my mask. I'm happy when people wear their masks outside. I do want to say, I feel like a lot of people have not gotten the memo yet that you need to speak a little bit louder when you're wearing your mask in order to be understood clearly. It's like being in a school play, you know? You need to project your voice. And when you're talking at like the normal volume, like here's how my average interaction at my local grocery store goes. Hey, how are you? And then in my head, I'm like, I know what this is. Good, how are you? Good. And then in my head, I start to run it through like the Markov chain. And I go, they're asking if I need bags. And I go, no, I brought my own bags. And they go, all right. But then at the end of it, it gets questionable. You know, like we bought a, this is a true story, by the way. We bought a daikon, you know, a large Japanese radish at the grocery store. And the cashier that was ringing it through was like, and I went, sorry, what? And then she went, what vegetable is this? What vegetable is this? And I said, it's daikon. And she said, can you spell that? And I said, D-A-I-K-O-N. And then she's like, it's not in the system. I'm going to save you the murmuring for now. Because every single one of these was interspersed with like, oh, what? What? Excuse me? Pardon? I'm sorry. And then she turned to her coworker and was like, what is this? And the coworker went, and then she went, what? And then the coworker went, it's a radish. And then, so she typed in radish. She looked at me first and she's like, is this a radish? And I said, yeah, kinda, because it is. I mean, it's not even kind of. It's just, it's not the traditional, like, red radish. But anyway, when she punched in radish, she did not like the photo that came up, so she went and she, like, took a look at the thing on the, like, she went back to the vegetable section, and apparently it is called a lobok. In their system, they have it under a different name. This whole interaction basically has nothing to do with my original anecdote. But what I'm trying to say is just speak up a little bit. I'm already, I don't know if I'm hard of hearing, but the masks are not helping. Let me just put it that way. But we got our lobok. Don't even sweat it. This, hold on. This does open up boss rush, but might not open up deal with the devil. / definitely won't open deal with the devil. I'm not sure. That helps. That helps a lot, actually. Like, the number of times... I almost feel like I'm circumventing the protective measures sometimes, because they got, like, mask, and then a big, like, plexiglass sheet that protects you from the... I didn't even mean to pick that up. I just wanted to grab the penny. A plexiglass sheet that, you know, makes it so droplets can't get by. And don't get me wrong, I understand 100% the reason for all of this. But I'm also like, if you could just speak up, I wouldn't have to lean, like, right up against the plexiglass in order to understand. But this is very much... I don't know if there is a more old man complaint than speak up. Maybe like when Mr. Burns says, shave those sideburns, Mattingly. That's the only thing I could think of maybe being on that same level. We don't want anything in there. We had to go to the pharmacy yesterday. And at the pharmacy, I kid you not, they had a a sign, like a display of products. That was it. Here's what it said: ask us about our deal of the day. And then the deal of the day was Nexicare waterproof bandages. And I just wanted to... I wanted to take them up on their offer. I don't have the courage for this, nor the free time. But I did, in my head, play out a situation where I went up to a staff member and said, "Excuse me, I'd like to inquire about your deal of the day." And I don't know if they've got a prepared sales pitch or... Because I feel like Band-Aids are kind of... They're one of those things... It's pretty price inelastic. You know what I mean? Is there... Look, I understand the value of budget shopping. Going through the flyers, finding out where chicken breast is at the cheapest and driving 10 minutes out of your way to save a few bucks. However... Is anybody sitting there with an unstocked first aid kit going, well, we need bandages in case of emergency, but on the other hand, I could just wait and see if it's the deal of the day. Just struck me as like, you know, when there's a deal of the day in the Fortnite shop, and it's like you can buy the Skull Trooper skin for, you know, 15 bucks on your mom's credit card, I get it. You know, you got like an implied degree of scarcity or something like that. The Band-Aids just struck me as being very strange. So one of those things, I don't believe on extreme couponing I've ever seen someone be like, oh, I just wait to buy Band-Aids until they're, you know, on sale, and then I buy 500 of them. Maybe I'm wrong, though. I feel like Band-Aids are kind of the thing you always have around. Like, I mean, again, when you're a kid, it's different, right? Like, I'm pretty sure as a kid, I probably used a Band-Aid every 3 months, is my guess. As an adult, I've used Band-Aids, don't get me wrong. You know, occasionally you're cooking, you chop your finger a little bit or a lot. Or you know, you're walking and you like kick the corner of a piece of furniture or something like that. And, you know, those are situations where it's it makes a lot of sense. But there's also a lot of stuff where I just kind of hold like a piece of toilet paper to a minor wound for 5 minutes and go, you know what, it's good. I'm pretty sure that we have like 3 boxes of Band-Aids we've had since 2012. It's one of those things you don't really want to wait for a sale, right? Like if your kid is like, oh, I freaking, you know, I don't know, how do kids get injured and need Band-Aids? I was playing soccer and I did a slide tackle and skinned my knee, you know? You're like, well, sorry, Band-Aids haven't been on sale for a while. It's been peak. It's a buyer's market, or it's a seller's market for Band-Aids right now. I don't know, this bit's going nowhere, dude. I'm just such a bizarre marketing technique for me. Ask us about our deal of the day. Hello, are you the bandage salesman? What more can you tell me about Nexicare waterproof bandages? How waterproof are they, for example? If I poured a whole glass of water on them, would it protect them? They're like, come on, man. Just use the self-checkout like a normal person. Stores are weird. Yeah, you ever realize that? What do you mean by that? Here's what I mean by it, okay? In 1950s North America, or anywhere in the world. Basically, I'll give you the long and short of this bit. The bit is going to be that Amazon tipped everything over, right? But in 1950s America, I understand the concept of the store. You know, the general store, you go there. Hey, I need canned lunch meat for dinner. It's a special occasion. Hey, you know, my husband needs Brill cream. Stuff like that. I get it. It's not like you're going to drive to the Brill cream factory and buy some for yourself. But in the world of Amazon and buying direct from creators and distributors and stuff like that. And this is not necessarily like a pro Amazon thing, but I am like, what is your business? Like, I really, the pharmacy is a little different, but sometimes if I'm in like just a general store, of which admittedly there are not that many left anymore, but really like all of our pharmacies are kind of also general stores as well. I'm kind of like, what am I paying you for? I know that sounds a little boomer heavy, but just let me work with it. It's basically like you just buy a lot of stuff and then have a big building where you hold on to it. That's your job. You're like a weird like potato chip landlord. Like you buy you're the arbitrage that you provide is that you're able to buy potato chips in bulk. So as a result of having that level of buying power, you can pass on some of the savings to your customer that we might not otherwise be privy to. However, I really feel like in the modern economy, almost everything is kind of the same price everywhere. There's don't get me wrong. Sometimes there's sales and yada yada yada. But I am also, I don't know. I don't think I'm making my point eloquently at all. But I don't. Why are these enemies dying? What is happening? I'm constantly. My head is hidden enemies and moving around. This is weird. I'm not sure guillotine was the right play, but I'll take things they said in the French Revolution for. Doesn't even make any sense. The joke doesn't even make any sense. Do not laugh. I don't know. I'm kind of weirded out by the concept of a store. Now, I understand supporting local businesses. That's why sometimes I willingly choose to buy a sandwich that costs $12 and is smaller than a sandwich that costs $7, but has some kind of, like, arbitrary justification. Like, oh, yeah, it's a little pricier, but don't worry, this one has a tapenade on it. But, like, when it comes to multinational chains, like, I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I don't really understand, like, Best Buy. I sort of don't understand. I understand the idea that competition is good. So, like, having outlets that can hedge against Amazon so that Amazon doesn't get complete monopolistic power and then start to charge what goods really cost. Hold on. We might want to try to become Guppy. You know, it's been a while. It was definitely not worth it. Let's check out the second secret room, too. But I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know. I'm struggling. I'm trying to find my way through the darkness on this anecdote. I guess, really, the way that I think of Best Buy or stores like that now is when I find myself in a situation where 1 to 2 day shipping is no longer acceptable. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll go to the store and pick it up. Like, that's your competitive advantage now. That's the service you provide is, I've been holding this thing for you and can now give it to you. But the idea of, like, ordering something from a Best Buy and then having it shipped from Best Buy and take a few weeks to arrive, or, you know, even a few days to arrive is a little strange to me. But maybe I'm just not getting it. I don't know, man. Pretty much, I think it's become very clear I have no idea what I'm talking about, and as a result, you can't judge me. Huh? So I want keys, please. Like, we bought our fans from Best Buy. It was a hot day, and it was June, so it's not like it's going to get any colder in the near future. And we said, you know what? Best Buy's got some in stock. Let's go grab them. So we did. That I understand. But apart from that, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just confused, okay? I feel like, you know, in the 40-Year-Old Virgin, when the female lead has the store where they sell things on eBay, and then the guy comes in who I think is Jonah Hill and goes, Why can't I just, like, sell it myself on eBay? That's how I feel right now. It's like, why am I paying a fee to Best Buy for you to buy the stuff from the distributor when I could just buy the stuff from the distributor? Well, we have Geek Squad. I know. That's what's annoying. If you work for Geek Squad, I'm not mad at you, okay? I'm more just like, you know, you're complicit in the system where when I buy a piece of technology, you know, I have to say no to buying the extended warranty like 70 times. Hey, nice fan there. It has a plug and one button. You want somebody from Geek Squad to come over and install that for you? It's only 60 bucks. I'm like, you know what? I think I got this one. I'll have you know, I got Freddy Farkas Frontier Pharmacist to install and boot on DOS when I was a child. I think I can handle a Dyson Bladeless. And I mean, come on, skip the dishes? Yeah, I'm skipping the dishes. I'm taking my garbage out twice as often. That's a little bit, that's a stream reference. Get him. Get him, King. Oh, I'm putting the system on trial today. I'm not afraid of the Best Buy stands. Plus, I feel like Best Buy is one of those companies you can kind of, you can talk a little smack about, because in Canada they did come in and then basically, like, Amazon Future Shop. It's a weird sentence, but they came in and, like, out-competed Future Shop, and then all the Future Shops became Best Buys, and I'm like, you know what? You disgust me, Murray. You get what you freaking deserve. This run, very strong, very solid. I entered a fugue state. I do not remember anything that happened, but look at that. It's another win. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.